Right, we're back. And everybody in town is scared because there's a Shadow Lord in town still. And we haven't had the good sense to get out of Dodge yet. It's too interesting. I think that's the problem. It's far too interesting to see what the Shadow Lords are doing to people. The problem is if I get near one of them, he'll kill me. Because we're only beginners in this game. Also, everybody's not going to be making the best first impression on us when they start quaking in terror when we walk in through the door. Ah, now the shopkeeper's back. No crimes! I've done nothing, the lady says as her eyes are as wide as she backs away. I'm innocent! Right, okay. Uh-huh. Right, you are. Carry on then, Miss Innocent. I'm just gonna walk this way. Okay. Now I like this character a lot. She's really well done. But she's not going to say anything coherent at the moment. She's going, Avatar! The red-headed woman gives you a look that is part panic, part wheedling. Avatar, that'll protect me, won't you? They all want to kill me! They want to drag me back to Minok and throw me into the bay again! She refocuses on you and begins to back away, moaning softly. Thou dost too, I know it! No! She sinks to her knees, sobbing. Well, as first impressions go, that will make an impression on you. Well, maybe while everybody's completely dawdled, we can go into the dungeon here and see what's going on. This is this is the jail. Ominous music. Always a good sign. I'm glad everybody's agreeing with me. Here's the guard. The huge man looks at you with a look of utter terror. Please don't hurt me! Go away! Okay, we'll not hurt the guard. We'll, you know, this would have been a great time for a jailbreak if we were actually in jail. Lock the door. There's a wizened, sly-looking man here. And he's saying, Oh, of course thou art here. A little late, perhaps, but here nonetheless. I am Felspar. I don't suppose that you've heard of me. No. Of course not. Folks these days dare not mention that they know a counsellor. What do you mean a little late? Affairs in Britannia have, shall we say, deteriorated somewhat since thy last visit, Avatar. Didst thou not notice? No, I've not noticed. I think everything's great around here. Dost thou not recognise the garb of a member of the Great Council? No. The Great Council was formed after I got back to Earth, and apparently they've made a right mess of things. Yes, the Great Council. I'm glad you used inverted commas around great, or so our predecessors had the audacity of naming themselves. We are, or rather were, the governing body of Britannia, the lawbreakers. A few of us even consider us akin to Lord British. Alright. His Majesty has often stated that he acted only as an advisor to the Great Council. This, of course, coming from a man who had the power to overrule us on a whim. Still, there were fools who would believe anything, and some councillors took his words seriously. Some even dismissed His Majesty as a figurehead. Right, a figurehead. Yes! One of us even went so far as to suggest that taking advantage of Lord British's disappearance, it was Councillor Windermere who claimed that the Great Council should govern Britannia independently of a monarch. Lord Blackthorn, of course, would hear nothing of it. Let's talk about Blackthorn. Everybody's got something to say about Blackthorn in this game, which is good, because I found in the original Ultima 5, whenever you asked anybody about Blackthorn, they had no idea who he was. But apparently he's Britannia's Rose, the leader of the Black Company, and the first man to serve as regent to Lord British. The council did not take too kindly to him. Alright. A few in the council, Councillor Windermere in particular, viewed Blackthorn and his company as a threat to the council's power. They were afraid that the Black Company might usurp any influence that the council had over the local courts and militia. Some of us, of course, saw how we might use Blackthorn to our advantage. Oh, please tell me more about your political manoeuvrings. I fear that I used my own influence over local officials to help Blackthorn and Dryden achieve their positions of power during Lord British's reign. I promised great rewards to those helped in our cause, had I truly known what the reward would be. So who's this Windermere chap? Oh, a charismatic and handsome youth, and rebellious at that. One might say that he and Blackthorn did not get along. They had a rivalry that dated back over a generation. Indeed, Windermere nearly resigned from the council when Blackthorn took over as regent during Lord British's absence. Of course, that was only the beginning. Blackthorn declared Windermere a traitor after the councillor allegedly orchestrated a series of attacks upon the Black Company throughout Britannia. Matters only worsened when Blackthorn's childhood friend Shanna, the only survivor of Lord British's journey into the underworld, was slain by a minion of Windermere. Lord Blackthorn then assaulted Windermere's keep. Let's talk about the Black Company again, okay? It's a band of mercenaries who travelled with Blackthorn from town to town. Okay, mercenaries, eh? Thieves, scoundrels, anyone Blackthorn could round up and discipline, with promises of gold and fortune. To be certain, there were brave and noble folk who volunteered to join Blackthorn's ranks, but they were few and far between. Now let's talk about the lawmakers then. Make no mistake, my friend, we discussed, debated, argued, and eventually wrote the laws of Britannia, but by no means did we enforce them. That was left in the hands of local courts and militia. Of course, that did not prevent the Great Council from using its power to influence any decision that was made, until Lord Blackthorn came along. I think we're going around in circles. Do you want to escape or anything? Or are you just going to keep telling me things in this jail? Yeah. You don't want to escape, do you? Well, fare thee well. If thou dost need me, thou dost know where to find me. I have a hunch I'm going to need to find him later. Anybody interested in escaping while the guards are driven half mad by fear? Anybody wrongfully arrested by Blackthorn? Please, my lord, may I have a lend of thy weapon? I do not wish to live any more. Something sharp, if possible. No. But I cannot live like this. It must end. He goes back to sobbing into his hands. So, this guy gets suicidal when he gets overcome with fear. Okay. Well, we'll continue to soak up the ambience of this dungeon and get back to you shortly.